Great. Now, lean forward a little bit, set your props to the side, your blanket or your block, push those out of the way, and come into all four position. We're setting up for cat-cow pose here. So once you're at all fours, push your right foot back, push it way, way back behind you, lifting it off the ground, just getting some blood back into the knees and hips. Bring that knee back down to the floor. Lift the left leg up, push it way back. Really stretch out, bring the left knee back to the floor and switch. Right leg up, push it back behind you, bring it back. Left leg, push it behind you, bring it back. Yogis, yoginis, let's start cat-cow pose. Hand placement. Hands are just in front of the shoulders, slightly wider than the shoulders, and they're lightly clawing into your mat like you're digging up beach sand. Knees directly beneath the hips. Inhale, lift the chin, look forward, pull back on the hands to draw the chest through, coming into cow pose. Exhale, drop the chin, push into the hands, lift the mid back, the upper back, really, really hunching the back. Then inhale, come through once more, smooth movements, pull back on the hands, draw the chest through. Exhale, dipping the head, arching the back, pushing into the hands, Halloween cat pose. Do 3 more on your own, or perhaps more than 3 if you have more time than that before we move into tadasana next. So the work here, I should even say the play, is to make the breath as smooth as the movements. Keep the face soft, just moving from that point of inner stillness. Just enjoying this time to be in your body, move through your body. Just enjoying the fullness of breath. Really big inhales, really big exhales. And now, wherever you are in the cycle, just return to a cow pose. Not your full expression of cow pose, but just an easy cow pose right here. We're going to practice what we learned in class on Sunday, which is to connect the dropping of the tailbone with the lifting of the belly. And so don't do it yet, but this is what we're going to do. Starting from the cow pose, we're going to neutralize the back and come not all the way through to a cat pose, but just to a flat back, neutral back position. And we're going to initiate this by drawing the navel in toward the spine on the exhale. So let's start. Take a deep inhale. You're in cow pose. Exhale, pull the navel in toward the spine like you're doing a bit of a sit-up too, and feel the tailbone drop just until you come to flat back. Inhale, pull back on the hands, draw the chest through, come back to cow pose, look up. Exhale, pull the navel in like you're doing a little bit of a sit-up as well. Feel the tailbone drop until you're at flat back. Once more, inhale, pull the chest through. Exhale, draw the navel in. Feel the tailbone drop until you're in neutral position. Now just go ahead and sit back on your heels a little bit, sit up, and feel free to shake out your wrists. They might be a little bit tired from being on the floor. Come on back to the hands and knees position. Lift the right leg out behind you. Really push back, and push back so much that the right hip maybe even lifts up a little bit. Now neutralize the hips, lower the right hip by pulling the navel in toward the spine and really pulling everything into that right hip, and you'll see that it lowers a little bit. Now inhale, lift up the left hand, pause here. Next inhale, swing the left hand out to the left, right hand to the right, keep the navel hugging in the whole time. Exhale, come on back to central position. Inhale, keep the navel hugging in, swing out to the sides. Exhale, come on back. Inhale, out to the sides, keeping the hips level. Exhale, coming back. Bring the knee back down. Bring the left hand back down. Pause here. Now inhale, bring the left leg back behind you. Push way, way, way back with that heel. And now draw the navel in to lower the hip, the left hip, and pull everything into the hips. Inhale, bring the right arm out. Hold here, get your balance here. Next inhale, swing the right arm out to the right, left leg to the left. Exhale, come on back. Inhale, out to the sides. Exhale, bring it back. Last one. Inhale, out to the sides. Exhale, really pull that navel in. Bring it back. Rest the leg, rest the hand. Come to a standing position at the front of your mat. Tadasana pose. Check the position of the feet, hip width apart, and draw that imaginary line from the middle of your heel up through the second and third toes. And those lines should be facing straight forward. Roughly the outer edges of your feet will be about parallel with the mat. Breathe. Continue to breathe. First principle, muscle energy. This is the leg muscles hugging to the bones. This is what gives us our solid foundation here. So pull everything in, an even muscular engagement across the front of the legs and the back of the legs. Next principle, inner spiral. So this is where we had the foam block between our legs and we called it Pez dispensing. Take your upper inner thighs back and apart. It's as if your knees are going to knock, but don't let them knock. And the way you can do this is to push the outer lower legs a little bit out to the side. So in a sense, even more muscular engagement to keep the knees from knocking. So holding that inner spiral and the muscle energy. Now, draw your navel in and allow the tailbone to sink toward the floor. Hopefully these two things are connected for us by now, but if not, don't worry, just do both separately. Hug the navel in and just drop the tailbone down toward the floor so the butt's not sticking out. Breathe in, lift the ribs up and out of the hips to get really long through the side waist. Inhale, take the arms out in front of you like Frankenstein arms. Push the fingers out away from you like you're reaching toward something. Now pull them back in the opposite direction, plugging them in. Inhale, keep them plugged in, lift the arms all the way up. Drop the tailbone again, pull the navel in. And now look up, stretch the fingers up, arms straight. Even though and even as we're keeping the shoulders plugged in. Exhale, arms back down at your side. Once more, check muscle engagement of the legs, muscles to bones. Inner thighs back and apart, resist the knees knocking. Drawing the navel in, tailbone drops. You're going to have to breathe more into the ribs here with the navel drawing in. So just take some deep breaths into the upper ribs and the side ribs. Inhale, arms out in front of you. Plug them back in, pulling them back towards you. Now inhale, lift the arms all the way up. Looking up, straight arms, energetic fingers. Exhale, arms back down to your side. That was mountain pose, or in the Sanskrit, Tadasana pose.